Hi and welcome to Street Commodores Live Volume 4. We're here at Autotech Engineering in Granville, New South Wales. And what are we doing here, Ben?
We're going to install one of these Lynx tune-up kits. Spiro's going to help us out. Let's go and check it out. We're here at Autotech Engineering with Spiro, where we're going to install one of Lynx's DIY Performance Super Tune service kit into this Series 1 VT Club Sport. What's involved with that, Spiro?
Basically, it's just a replacement of spark plugs, ignition leads, and a high-flow air cleaner. Basically, we replace them with the standard components, and we're going to monitor the difference in horsepower and see how much difference they make in comparison to standard parts.
Okay, and is there a typical kind of power increase that can be expected?
Yeah, it varies from different vehicles, but generally anywhere from 10 to 15 kilowatts.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good, just from a simple tune-up.
Well, it's not really a tune, it's just basically replacing the parts. But if a car hasn't been well serviced, it makes a bigger gain than a car that's been finally serviced. So
that's great.
It'll be interesting to see how this one goes anyway.
Yeah, so we're going to do a baseline dyno test.
Yep.
So while Spiro's hooking that up, let's check out your 2006 Cruise for Charity 3.
2006 saw the third running of the Street Commodores Cruise for Charity, held each year to raise money for the Starlight Foundation. This year we decided to do things a little differently, expanding the cruise to 4 major cities across the country. In addition to Sydney, we also took the cruise to Perth, Queensland's Gold Coast and Melbourne. We worked with a bunch of extremely dedicated people in each state to make the event work, and they pulled it together to make the cruises very special indeed. In 2005, a touch under $11,000 was donated to Starlight, with 450 cars attending. With the massive expansion of the event in 2006, we had hopes of increasing that amount to around $40,000, while attracting some 1,500 Commodores nationwide. The New South Wales cruise was the first leg of the tour, and ultimately the biggest. After completely outgrowing Silverwater Park, we moved the meeting point to the Sydney Olympic site for 2006.
What we're going to do is cruise via about 125 k's of driving out to the Blacktown Drive-In, where we'll all park up, kick back, check out all the cars. We've got a dyno out there, we're going to have a barbecue, so it should be a really good day. Basically, we're aiming to assist the Starlight Foundation with their goal of reaching 3 out of 3 children with their services. At the moment, they reach about 1 out of 3. So it's definitely for a good cause. We've got a great crowd here, lots of cars, so we're looking forward to a great day. We're here at the Street Commodores Cruise. We're here at the Street Commodores Cruise for Charity 3 with a couple of the more colourful people in attendance. I believe some of the Newcastle crew. Some interesting outfits there, guys.
Yeah, mate, it's all about the charity. We're here to have a good time, raise a bit of money. And in the end of the day, it's all going to the kids, so, more the better.
I went to the costume store and the only thing that would fit me wasn't even an Indian costume or a Mexican one, so I thought I'd better go the Mexican.
There was sunshine aplenty on the day, meaning that there were no excuses for a poor turnout, not that we needed one. Arriving at the car park early to set up, we were greeted by the sight of about 100 Commodores already waiting for us, and it was only going to get bigger. The car park was nearly bursting at the seams by the time we were ready to head off to the Blacktown Drive-In, with the 650 odd cars heading along the 127 kilometre route to Blacktown, where the rest of the day's festivities began.
Me and a couple of mates are out enjoying the day in my hectic VS. There's plenty of awesome cars here today. We've got a lot of cover cars, like Tim Thorpe's Grumble, for example. We've got the Lenardi Ute, a lot of hot V6s, some quick VL turbos. But basically, we're just really impressed with the quality of cars that have turned out today, as well as the quantity. Some really amazing cars. It was great to see on the forums in the lead up to the event that there are a lot of guys and girls really pushing to get their cars ready specifically for this event, which was good to see, and it really shows in the quality of cars that are here today.
Once at the drive-in, there was a barbecue, merchandise, trade stalls, and a massive raffle, including prizes from Noltec, Tubular Suspension Systems, Royal Purple, and a multitude of other very generous companies. When the day was done and dusted, we had witnessed the biggest Commodore cruise in history and made over $21,000 for Starlight with 3 legs to go.
The money we've raised today will mean a lot to all the kids who are touched by Starlight and the work they do.
We're here with a very dedicated group of Commodore enthusiasts that have come all the way up to the Street Commodores Cruise for Charity 3, the Sydney round, all the way from Tasmania. Thanks for coming along, guys.
We saw the picture on the cruise on the DVD and in the magazine, and there was no mention of anyone coming from Tassie, and we thought, no, we can do that. So we just wanted to be a part of it. It's an awesome cruise and has a pretty good reputation, so we wanted to be a part of it, and I reckon we'll be back next year.
Starlight Foundation is really what today's all about. That's what it's in aid of, and it's where all the money goes. Warren, first up, tell us, have you had a good day?
I've had an absolutely fantastic day because three terrific things have happened. One is a wonderful group of people have helped to put a smile on the face of a lot of sick children and grant some wishes which are on your website. Second thing is I'm a Holden fan from way back, so this was absolutely a real pleasure for me. And the other great thing was I never saw a Ford all day.
That's great to hear.
So here we've got the split fire spark plugs with the patented and quite unique V-shaped electrode. As you can see here, a little V. It's one of the various things that's going to help this VT make a little more power. All right, so while we let the car cool down a little bit, why don't we check out Bill's VL? Welcome. Signature face. You see that a lot. My signature is... Give me a break.
A simple song can change the world, it isn't being naive. A bag achievement in my locket and my heart on my sleeve. It takes a bottle of vodka for me to start to believe. And my speakers rock out what my amplifier receives. This thing I can't hold on to, that I'll never own, that I can taste on my tongue and feel in my bones and my chrome. And so my friends say that I told you so. Hold the phone, I'm out of the zone, I'm on overload. I can't control it, too much weight on my shoulders. As a result, I reach with my pen and my folder and write outside at night just by candlelight. Then recite it in my mind until each line is tight. Cause we be dropping like the stock market, alright. The maths don't stop, so don't start it. I like it when the odds are impossible, so hard to get on top of this. Still a love for hip-hop means we'll always be the...
I'm gonna shoot this car.
1.21 gigawatts.
$2,000 doesn't get you much of a VL, as Bill, the owner of this example, found out. He bought the car 2 years ago in a condition that he could only describe as terrible. The car has always worn a Walkie kit, but as you can imagine, it was in a state of total disrepair when it came into Bill's hands. Since owning it, he's resurrected the tired body, repaired the kit, and coated the car in the ever-popular colour Blueprint. The interior is a work of art and features Recaro bucket seats for Bill and his co-pilot. Every interior surface is covered in tan leather to really set off those blue panels. Under the bonnet is not a turbocharged 6 as is common with this model. Instead, Bill has chosen a worked 5-litre V8 filled with a host of aftermarket go-fast bits. Heavyweight names such as Crane, Cum and ACL fill the block, while Gilmer, Holly and Edelbrock parts finish the equation to help the 308 make 370 horsepower at the flywheel.
Because we don't play the American way. Right now I'm proud to be Australian and want to keep it that way. Build cranes with origami, or make cranes to make buildings and house planes that are used by the army. Build cranes that make buildings and imprison men.
Rolling on 19-inch Gestalt Verouge rims, the VL certainly makes a striking first impression. In fact, Bill told us that it's caused more than a few accidents when other drivers try to take in the VL's wild appearance.
Because we can.
Driving shorter.
Your swords are mightier than the pens that we write with. Answers and battle, still we can fight. And so what if we lose? Shit the mess, sing some blues, kids, throw rocks and tanks, though we know that it's useless. Cranes are dying, along with whole nations. Been hearing this for decades, but still nothing changes. It's all about getting resources, despite what it causes, destruction and warfare. See, that's what the score is. Origami, or make cranes that make buildings and house planes that are used by the army. Build cranes that make buildings and imprison man. But what we want, because we should, but because we can. Build cranes with origami, or make cranes that make buildings and house planes that are used by the army. Build cranes that make buildings and imprison men. Build what we want, because we should, but because we can. Because we can. Because we can.
Okay, here we've got Splitfire's performance washable and reusable air filter. It's got a 1,000,000-kilometre warranty and they reckon it's so good you'll never need another one for the life of your car. So we're going to get Brendan here to fit it up for us. Well, here is the original paper filter. As you can see, it's pretty dirty. They're not washable, not reusable. And as a bonus, the Splitfire one actually flows more air too. So what that means is you make more power, which is very nice. So now that we've done that, we'll go check out the Oran Park Skid Pan Day.
After all the fun we had shooting the forced induction cars, ripping it up at Oran Park in the last DVD, we thought we'd invite a bunch of StreetCommodores.com forum members out to Oran Park for a skid pan day, giving them a perfect opportunity to let loose in their Commodores so we could film some tyre smoking fun. With the details posted up on our internet forum, the 30 allocated spaces filled up quickly, with over 13 pages of excited banter leading up to the event. A big group headed down from Newcastle, having spent the previous few weeks buying up every stocky they could lay their hands on. Oran Park became a campsite, with trolley jacks, lawn chairs, eskies and tyres piled up high. Before long, the water truck had the skid pan soaked from end to end and we were ready to shred some tyres.
Alright guys, if everyone can jump in their cars and make 2 even lines at the crest of the hill here. What's been your favourite part about the day so far?
Oh, just the burnouts and drifting and everything. Pretty good.
We're here with Mark, the owner of this really tidy, well-presented looking VP. Mate, it looked like you were having a few dramas earlier on.
Oh, yeah, trying to get used to the lock and that in it, and just now that I've overheated a bit, I think, just power steering line's just caught a fire, but she's out now, so let it cool down and get back into it.
idea is keep circulating around the middle witch's hat and then go around to all the ones on the outside.
The competitors were soon carving up on the makeshift Motorcana track, but the time soon went out the window as everyone was having too much fun ripping skids. And really, that's what the day was all about, having plenty of fun in your Commodore without fear of retribution from the law.
We're here with Daniel, who's had a bit of bad luck today at the Skid Pan Day in his red hot VT clubby. Mate, tell us what happened.
Oh, mate, just in pulling off some moves. Before we know it, fan belts kicked off, temperature gauge gone up, pulled over with smoke pouring out the engine.
Certainly did pretty well out there, showed some nice car control. Is this something you've done before? Or?
Yeah, as often as we can, get the track. Place. Love it.
Tell us a bit about your car. It's a VR GDS?
GDS, 6-speed, stock. Cut the resonator off, and that's about it.
Thanks for coming along, mate.
No problem.
Cheers.
Have a good one.
Here at Oran Park, the Street Commodore Skid Pan Day is drawing to a close. Everyone's packing up their trailers with all their stockies. Some are a little worse for wear as a result of the day's activities. Everyone's had a great time. We'd like to thank Oran Park for having us and thank everyone for coming along. We've had a large contingent of Newcastle guys who have come down for the event. Looks like everyone's had a ball, and stay tuned because I think there'll be another one really soon.
So Brendan's still changing the spark plugs on the VT Club Sport. Why don't we throw to a segment? George's ute, some of you may remember from the cover of this issue, a green VS ute, big stroker motor, big turbo. You can only imagine how the footage turned out. Have a look.
When we first heard about George's VS ute, we knew that it was going to be something special, and we weren't wrong. That stock-looking exterior houses a monster turbocharged Holden Stroker V8 that produces a massive 600 kilowatts at the wheels.
G'day, I'm George. This is my ute. It's a 355 stroker with a custom T51 turbo, 76mm wheel in the front and 76mm wheel in the rear, and it's running on pump fuel. It runs a T56 heavily modified 6-speed gearbox with a twin plate 10-inch clutch, hydraulic clutch, and a full house 9-inch 35 spline axles, steel centre with a aluminium pinion carrier and a Detroit locker.
With big power the plan from the outset, George made sure that the Ute was built with the very best parts available to create a vehicle that was both ridiculously powerful and extremely drivable. Once overcoming a few teething problems with the car, it was finally together, and we had him head into our studio to shoot it for the cover of this very issue. While the car was in the studio, we also got our video cameras out to capture it for your viewing pleasure. However, we all know that you don't really just want to see it in the studio, so we took Tough Ute out for a spin. Quick stop to fill the car up with 98 octane unleaded, and then it was on the way to Croydon Racing Developments to get Tough Ute on the dyno. Driving the car onto the rollers, it was strapped down tight, and then the Garrett T51R equipped 355 was unleashed on the poor unsuspecting dyno.
$582, mate. We'll get there. I'm hoping for 13,500, but I'm happy with 12,500.
Running at 23 psi on pump fuel, the Ute ran 582 kilowatts at the wheels before the Croydon team upped the ante, with Tough Ute pumping out a monumental 601.3 kilowatts at the wheels.
There's your 600 pump fuel.
I said it has 630 in it. We'll get it. No dramas.
This was on a very conservative tune, with George and his brother Dom confident that the car will make 630 kilowatts at the wheels when pushed further.
You got to pull it off now, that's it? Yeah, the boys have got to go, you know. Yeah. They've been pretty generous, and then just come here this late. 806 horsepower at the wheels, that'll do. There you go, guys. Told you to make 600 on pump fuel. Made 601, and it does it run after run. It's a bloody good thing, mate.
A dyno sheet is all well and good, but George wanted to really demonstrate just how powerful the car is, so we went for a spin, and it was something to behold. The Ute can and will turn the tyres in fourth gear at cruising speeds without even breaking a sweat. And all of this wrapped in a package that's very pleasing to the eye. It definitely is a tough Ute.
Okay, we've just taken out the distributor cap and the factory plug leads, and we're about to replace them with the split-fire twin-core 8.8mm plug leads. But up next, we've got our recent SAS Dyno Day, sponsored by Horsepower Clothing.
Horsepower Clothing got in touch with us, wanting to sponsor a Dyno Day to promote the launch of their 2 new t-shirt designs, adding to their already extensive range of automotive-inspired streetwear. Our good friends at Silverwater Automotive, or SAS, stuck their hand up and let us use their facility for the day. Advertising the day on the Street Commodores forums, we quickly had a list of over 20 cars. Horsepower Clothing donated some of their shirts to be given away as prizes on the day. Those who scored the highest horsepower reading in every category received one, as did the person with the highest horsepower overall and the hotly contested lowest horsepower. Taking home the trophy, or shirt as it were, for the highest overall horsepower on the day was ex-feature car DVS 59L, while forum member The Fat took out the highest horsepower NAV8 title with a solid 326 rear wheel kilowatts. The prize that everyone was vying for, the lowest horsepower, was snapped up by Rob Haynes in his VX after Ben Hosking refused to put his VH wagon on the rollers. Keep an eye out on the forums for the next Street Commodores Dyno Day.
Just wanted to make you happy, but you never seem to.
So we've just got all the old plugs out. Brendan's done a super job with that. He's just going to get him to put in the new ones now, so you can take that one, mate. While he's doing that, why don't you guys check out the rest of the Charity Cruise footage from Victoria, WA and Queensland.
Next up was Perth in beautiful Western Australia. For the WA leg, we followed a route that covered about 200 kilometres with 4 stops along the way instead of a singular meeting point and ending point. Unfortunately, the weather closed in, but it didn't dampen anyone's spirits. Starting in Cannington, the cruise headed into Edith Cowan University before making the run down the coastline to Mandurah.
on the Street Commodores Charity Cruise number 3 in Perth.
First year we've gone interstate.
First year we've gone interstate and we're having fun. Weather's crap, as you can see, it's a bit wet. We can't help that out of our hands. But everyone seems to be having fun. 200 odd Commodores or thereabouts here, I'd say.
200 odd Commodores and one
hectic Hundi. It has cannon muffler, veal side, super rear wing. It has stick-on aviation fuel filler on the factory fuel filler flat, and it's not big enough for it.
And a tow bar.
And to top it all off, a tow bar. It's magic.
Oi, oi, oi. No SMSing while you drive, mate.
Hey, what?
That's illegal in New South Wales. I'm not sure about Perth.
Perth? Yeah, not sure.
Yeah.
Not sure. You can have radar detectors in Perth.
Really?
Yeah. There's a lot of cars on the cruise with radar detectors.
Commodore fans came from all over, with a group of guys driving down from Kalgoorlie, a few coming from Albany, and some from as far as Esperance and South Australia. The Perth crew added $4,500 to the kitty and pulled 180 Commodores in the process.
We'd like to thank you guys for coming out. It's a really, really impressive turnout for your first event over here in Perth. Very successful and based on the turnout and the way everyone's behaved themselves and conducted themselves today, we're really looking forward to next year. Hopefully we'll be able to make it bigger and better. The event we've been running the past few years over in Sydney has gone from strength to strength over the years, and the real beneficiary of that's the Starlight Foundation, and I'm sure they'd be really glad to see everyone out here today enjoying themselves, raising some money for a fantastic cause. So bring on next year, guys, and thanks again.
Whisper by your pillow. Hold me
After a few days back in the office, we hit the road for the Queensland border in preparation for the next leg of the Street Commodores Cruise for Charity. Queensland has held its own leg of the Street Commodores Cruise for Charity for the last couple of years, raising more money with each passing year. 2006 was no different. Queensland braced for their biggest year yet, and they weren't disappointed with all the entrances to the Beanley Tavern clogged with Commodores trying to get into the cruise, with the final count coming to 535 cars. There were so many that the team was forced to let the cars go in a few smaller groups just to keep things flowing.
She's driving you. That's so hot.
I cruised down the highway to the Broadwater car park, saw a show and shine setup with trophies awarded to a number of top-level cars, including Brendan's Tunner and Scott's VC Brock HDT 493.
It's hard to find your way. All men crumble and they
When the money was counted, Queensland had made a monumental $15,000 for the Starlight Foundation.
We've got you too, Puff. Don't want to make you nervous or anything, mate.
For this event, we've had over 530 cars on our books today.
last stop on our Street Commodores tour of Australia was Melbourne. Like the Perth guys, the Victorians were first timers in 2006, but you wouldn't have picked it with the cruise proving to be a big success. The Melbourne leg ran a little differently, with a show and shine at the start of the day, followed by a cruise down the Mornington Peninsula. The day started at the Burvale Hotel, and the cars started rolling in from 8 in the morning. Soon the car park was overflowing with Commodores of all descriptions from mild to wild.
Our goal over the 4 events for 2006 was to raise 40 grand for the Starlight Foundation to help them out in helping sick kids. They do a fantastic job, the Starlight Foundation. We're really impressed with the turnout at all 3 prior events, and we've actually reached that goal of $40,000 already. So whatever we achieve down here today at the Vic event is all cream, and it's really for a fantastic cause.
V8 supercar driver Stephen Richards made the trip down to check out a few cars, and also picked his favourite from the bunch, much to the owner's excitement.
Here we are in sunny Victoria for the Melbourne leg of the Cruise for Charity number 3, 2006. We've just left the Burvale Hotel. We're on Springvale Road, heading down towards the Mornington Peninsula.
In a VESS.
In a VESS. Finally.
Because that's how we roll.
No Hyundai. No Rodeo. We have a real car. Thank you. Anyhow.
Because that's how we roll.
That is how we roll. We're headed down towards the Mornington Peninsula. We've got somewhere in the vicinity of 500 to 600 cars, Commodores. We're not too sure just yet. But it's looking really good. It's looking a lot like we may just crack the $60,000 mark with our donations to Starlight, which would just be absolutely amazing.
Plenty of ex-feature cars and their owners were at the cruise too, doing their bit for charity. Once the dust had settled, a total of $16,498 was made, and 500 Victorians brought out their Commodores to play.
Love the whole lot. All the way. All the way. There's a big tree there. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Wasted times I know I will regret. When all your
Initially aiming to raise $40,000 for Starlight, we absolutely smashed that figure with a total of $57,500 and nearly 2,000 cars coming along for the ride. We couldn't have taken the concept cross-country without the help of some dedicated locals in each state, with Ben Pratt and Drew Devonish in WA, Mark Pauley and his massive crew in Queensland, and Warren and Kelvin in Victoria. The response blew us away, and with plans to take it to South Australia, Tasmania and the Northern Territory next year, it can only get bigger.
Just wanted to make you happy.
Up next is a segment we had a lot of fun filming. We took 2 of the new E-Series HSVs out to Oran Park, ripped it up on the skid pan and out on the North Circuit. What do you think of the day, Ben?
It was awesome.
Wicked. Let's check out the footage.
As soon as we got the chance to get our sweaty hands on the new E-Series HSV range, we decided that we should do something a little different. In the spirit of the popular Alfera Dutton Rally Series held around Australia, we grabbed regular competitors Darren Park in his BY Club Sport and Nathan Buckley in his GDS Coupe and headed out to Oran Park for a bit of a challenge. The day wouldn't have been complete without a couple of wildcard entries though, so we invited George in his tough ute, which you saw a little earlier, Craig Campbell in his 671 blown VK, and the team from White Line Automotive, who thought it'd be an ideal opportunity for them to test out their new electronically adjustable suspension system. With the cars assembled, we got the day underway with our first stop being the skid pan. We started with two Motorcanas similar in style to what you'd see on a Dutton rally.
Here with George Graziani with Tough Ute. Now, George, tell us a bit about the Ute. What do you got? What's in this engine bay here?
It's just a 5.7 litre stroker with T51 turbo, twin wastegates, custom plenum. It's running about 25 pounds boost, pump fuel, and which makes 600 kilowatts at the rear wheels.
600 kilowatts, so 800 horsepower at the wheels. So what are you out here for today, mate?
Just come out here pretty much just for a bit of a show. The car's just pretty hard to control, but just makes a fun day.
Absolutely.
Fun drive.
All right, we look forward to getting you out there and having a bit of fun.
Yeah, it's great.
Thanks, George.
Standing start, each driver had to navigate the assembled course and complete their run by stopping the car completely inside the finishing garage. Hitting a cone saw a penalty of 5 seconds added to your time, with a wrong direction resulting in a DNF. If the car was not completely inside the finishing garage, the clock continued to run. You can bet that the ham-fisted boys from Street Commodores copped their fair share of 5-second penalties. Fujitsu Series V8 supercar driver Matthew Hunt took a rest from driving his BY V8 supercar to pilot Darren's track spec Buddy. With 510 horsepower at the rear wheels, the Sam's performance-built LS1 powers through a T56 dog box and heavy-duty rear end to meaty 18 by 10 inch Simmons under the guards.
Right, here with Matthew Hunt, who today is driving Darren Park's BY Club Sport. Now, Matthew, tell us a bit about the car and what the specs are.
This has got a 500 horsepower Sam's performance built engine in it.
Mm-hmm.
Runs a dog box.
Yep.
It's got 6-piston front calipers, and it's pretty much a
Full
race
cage.
car.
Yeah, it's a race car. Sort of. Obviously, it's got rally reg, so Dutton rallies and tarmac rallies. Things
That's
like
right.
That.
Yep.
Yeah. You driven it a lot before, or?
I drove this car on Friday at Wakefield.
Okay.
And there's a few little things we need to fix up on it, but it's pretty quick.
Pretty quick. Excellent. All right. And what do you think today you've got in this car going to get you over the other guys?
Probably, I'd say the fact that it's got a fair bit of grunt.
Yeah.
And it's fairly tractable, so you can just drive it on the throttle.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be a real issue. the suspension's pretty good in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Excellent.
the short flow exhaust and exhaust systems working quite well as well.
Yeah,
So we should be right.
All right, excellent. Well, we look forward to seeing you out there. Thanks, Matthew.
A full roll cage and huge braking package demonstrate that the car was purpose-built for this style of event, and it didn't disappoint either, with some excellent times registered amongst some tyre-frying drifting action.
I'm gonna suck.
Explain what the hell you think you were just doing.
I'm just pissed off I lost that 5 seconds because of the witch's hat. Just having fun.
I guess that just goes to show that the editor of Street Commodores can kind of steer.
Yeah, right.
All right, I'm here with Wojtek from White Line Automotive. Now, Wojtek's got the VZ colour here today. Can you tell us a bit about the car?
Well, the car is actually completely standard, and what we're doing here is we're testing our handling bias modifier, which is an electronic box with some dials that you can dial in or dial out the amount of under or over speed the car has.
Electronically?
Electronically, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's using the ABS controls and the factory stability control programs. And we're tapping into those and we're overlaying the factory programs with our own, so that we can change the actual bias of the car.
Okay, so
the turn of the dial.
So, how well do you think it's going to go against the car body today?
Well, it's well underpowered. It's completely standard power, brakes, suspension. So we're seeing some pretty serious race cars here. But with that box in place, I think we're going to go pretty good in the slalom events and the wet events. I think.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, Wojtek, thanks for that. We'll look forward to seeing how it goes.
Excellent.
Thanks, guys.
Somehow we will find the time to elevate another kind. Not because of madness brings me down. Know that I will always be around. This time that's legit. If you don't get it, 'cause I don't wanna breathe it on her. Know that I can take you on her.
Nathan Buckley has been competing in the Dutton Rally with his 2002 GDS Coupe for a few years now, with the car also serving as his daily driver until earlier this year. It was then that he decided to get serious with the car, so a full white line suspension package was fitted, along with a proper race seat, brake upgrades, and a few other upgrades that now help the car to develop 255 kilowatts at the wheels.
All right, I'm here with Nathan Buckley and his 2002 GDS Coupe. Now, Nathan, tell us a bit about the spec.
Basically, the engine's had a little bit of a massage with deck heads, bigger cam, of which I'm going to be secretive about, extractors, the usual sort of stuff, edits, and larger throttle body and the like. So that's about it. Other than that, it's been white line. I've done all the suspension on it.
Yep.
We're going to test that out today. It's going to be a good run in for it.
So that's new, is it?
Absolutely. So I'm learning today as well.
Excellent. So basically, the car's built for
Dutton rallies. It was an everyday vehicle. I used it for real estate up until about 4 or 5 months ago, and basically drove it every day and still did Dutton rallies and super sprints and the like.
Excellent. All right. So today, what have you got that's going to get you over the other guys?
Not massive amounts of horsepower like the rest of them, I think.
Yeah, traction. I think that's going to be your.
I'm absolutely angling for that.
Yes,
I tell you.
I think that's the game. Thanks, Nathan.
Nathan showed that you don't need 1,000,000 horsepower to be quick, being at the top of the timesheets for most of the day. With the Motorcana completed, we headed over to the North Circuit of Oran Park, where each car did 2 flying laps in the long configuration, and then again in the shorter, twistier setup. Again, each car raced against the clock with the times recorded. Unfortunately, during this part of the day, George clipped a ripple strip, bending one of his rear rims, which spelt the end of his day. Craig decided to park the VK with an electrical problem rearing its head, later proving to be no more than the battery connector coming loose during some smoky donuts. Darren Park had to head off too. The White Line team also had to leave, and that meant we were down to 3, with Ben Hosking in the R8, Ben Nightingale in the Senator, Nathan Buckley in his GDS, and Mark Boxer grabbing the keys to whichever HSV was left sitting long enough. The skid pan was wet down, but the hot weather soon evaporated the water. What was intended to be another Motorcana event quickly turned into a freestyle session, with plenty of drifting, donuts, and smoking tyres. When the silliness was out of our systems and both HSVs were wearing near bald rear tyres, we got back into it with an 8th mile sprint and 100 to 0 braking test performed on each of the 3 remaining cars. This complete, it was time to pack up and go home, with plenty of fun had by all.
So it's just another day in the office for us, hanging out at Oran Park with a whole bunch of great cars, including HSV's latest E-Series. No matter what we threw at them, they wouldn't break, and we tried. But big thanks to HSV for the use of their back tyres, as you would have seen earlier. Can't say enough about the cars, they're absolutely perfect. Whether it's the suspension, steering, or power, it's just spot on. What do you reckon?
Beautiful cars. This thing, great thing to steer. The auto box is brilliant. As you can see, it's held up pretty damn well, you know, to everything that's thrown at it. So you can't complain at all. You know, they've done a stellar job. Brilliant car.
So that's all for us. We're out of here. Just about to get kicked off the track. Had a great day. Big thanks to everyone who came out, and I hope you enjoyed the footage. So there you have it.
put in the plug leads, the air filter and the spark plugs. And here's Spiro to explain what's gone on.
Okay, basically that's the before power run, before the installation of the kit. That's the after power run. As you can see, the power here is is measured at the back wheels. It's picked up roughly at top end around about 10 or 12 kilowatts, but we've had a substantial gain in the mid-range. You also have a look down here, which is the air-fuel ratio line. This car is an untuned engine. You can actually see the after line has been leaned out in comparison to what it was in standard form. That's because of the extra power it's made. So the more power you make, the more fuel you'll use. So that's why it's leaned out. Now, in comparison, we'll also show a torque figure here. As you can see too, it's also picked up substantial amount of torque at the wheel. So overall, the kit's done really well. Bang for buck, it's pretty good value for 10 kilowatts.
How good is that? All from a simple service kit. Well, that's all from us this month. See you next time.